This is lesson 9.3, which is titled Mixed Numbers and Improper Fractions. You will have two objectives for this lesson. The first objective is to learn how to change mixed numbers to improper fractions. Your second objective is to learn how to change improper fractions to mixed numbers. First, you actually need to know what a mixed number is. A mixed number is a number that has a whole number, meaning it has a number without a fraction, but then you also have a portion of the number that is a fraction. So 3 1/4 would be considered a mixed number because it has both a whole number and a fraction attached to it. An improper fraction is a number that has a numerator that is larger than your denominator, such as 9/7. We are going to be learning how to change these back and forth because both numbers are representative of the same type of number. If that doesn't make sense, just keep on listening. The first thing you need to learn how to do is be able to write an improper fraction or a mixed number when looking at a picture or a model. Looking at these two drawings on this picture, it looks like I have drawn some pizzas. And each of these pictures are going to be divided into fourths. So if we were doing an improper fraction for this model, we would go ahead and put 4 for our denominator. The next thing you need to do is count up how many of those are shaded. So in this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 fourths are shaded looking at this picture. Now, we might also want to write a mixed number for this model too. In order to do that, you would first check to see, okay, well, how many whole pizzas do we have? This picture on your left would be your whole number because all of them are shaded in and there is no fraction left over. So we would say, well, we have 1 pizza shaded, and then we have 3/4 of the second pizza shaded in. So looking at this model, we can tell that 7/4 and 1 3/4 is actually the same number, but are just two separate ways of writing it. Doing the same type of problem, I'm first going to be seeing, well, how many sections are each one of these, we're going to call them bricks. How many are each brick divided into? Well, I can see section 1, 2, 3. These are each divided into thirds. Next, I'm going to see, or count up, how many are actually shaded. Well, looking at the red, which is going to be my shading for now, I see that there are actually 5 that are shaded in. Writing in the mixed number for this model, I would first count up how many whole bricks are shaded in, which would be 1, and then I would figure out what is the remaining fraction. That would have to be 2/3. And I'm looking at this one because there are 2 out of the 3 bricks that are shaded in. So in total of this model, you would say as an improper fraction, you have 5/3 are shaded in, or 1 2/3 can be shaded in as well. In this lesson, you'll see that they will just give you an improper number, and it is your responsibility to change it to a mixed number. So I wrote out a set of instructions that you can look at to help you do this. The first thing you need to ask yourself is how many times the denominator goes into the numerator. Remember, the denominator is your bottom number, while your numerator is the top number. So, looking at this problem, I'm going to ask myself, how many times does 7 go into 12? Number 2 says that answer will become your new whole number. I know 7 goes into 12 one time. How many is left over? Well, 7 goes into 12 one time, and there's 5 left over. So 5 is going to become my new numerator. And step number 4 says that your denominator will always stay the same. So the improper fraction, 12/7, equals the mixed number 1 5/7. We're going to keep on doing more of these problems. This time we have an improper fraction of 10/4. I'm going to ask myself, how many times does my denominator of 4 go into 10? It goes into it 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. So the difference between 8 and 10, or what number is left over, is going to be 2. and your denominator is going to stay the same, which is 4. So I know that the improper fraction 10/4 equals the mixed number 2 2/4. Last problem. Same steps. Number 1, ask yourself how many times the denominator goes into the numerator. 6 goes into 15 how many times? Hopefully you thought 2. 6 goes into 15 2 times, which equals 12. The number left over, or the difference between 15 and 12, is 3. Step number 4, keep your denominator. It should stay the same. So 15/6 actually equals 2 3/6. The second part of this lesson will ask you to write the mixed number as an improper fraction. So now we're going to be doing the exact reverse, taking your mixed number and changing it back into that original improper fraction that we have from before. The instructions to do this are a little bit different, but are not as complicated as you might think. And first, we need to multiply the denominator of your mixed number by its whole number. So I'm going to be taking this 8 as my denominator and multiplying it by the 7. 8 times 7 is 56. Then I need to add the numerator that is on my mixed number. 56 plus 1 is 57. That will become my new numerator for my answer. The denominator just stays the same. So 7 1/8 equals 57/8. Let's try another one. This time they gave us the mixed number 4 3/5. So first step, you need to make sure that you multiply the denominator by the whole number. 5 times 4 is 20. Then I need to add the 3 on my numerator. 20 plus 3 is 23. And your denominator stays the same. 4 3/5 equals 23/5. Let's try one more problem. This time I'm going to go a little faster. First I need to multiply the denominator by the whole number. 5 times 6 is 24. Then I need to make sure that I add the numerator. 24 plus 1 is 25. Denominator stays the same. Your answer is going to be 6 1/4 equals 25/4. Practice problem number 1. Write the mixed number as an improper fraction. Feel free to pause right now. Hopefully what you chose to do was multiply 8 times 5, and your answer was 40. 40 plus 2 is 42, and the denominator stays the same. Your answer is 42/8. Second problem is write the improper fraction as a mixed number. First, you need to ask yourself, how many times does 6 go into 41? 6 goes into 41 6 times. I know 6 times 6 is 36, and the difference between 41 and 36 is 5. So that leftover 5 is my numerator, while the denominator stays the same. Your answer is 6 5/6. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to write a question and circle the smiley face of how much you feel comfortable with today's lesson.